shining a beacon on the bizarre. Well, it's cosy times back in the Lighthouse Arcade.
It is, that autumn's coming. I love it.
Oh, I fucking love autumn. You see, Al actually, she doesn't like autumn.
I think some people get that sad thing, don't they? You know what I mean? They see the light dipping away and that, and they're like, "Ooh, it's getting early, getting darker."
Do you know what I think about that? I think it's bullshit.
I like that cosy feel of it coming in like that. And when you get bright blue days, right, shiny days.
There's nothing more overrated than a British summer.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah. August is the most overrated.
This year's been shit. I hated summer this year. It was just uncomfortable. It wasn't anything nice about the sun. It was nuclear.
Well, the thing is, the best part we had, of course, was our latest trip up onto Ilkley.
Even though I got burnt to fuck. I forgot how lily white I am. You went a nice brown chocolatey colour. I was like a fucking lobster.
Oh, like we're in blackface.
It burnt
like
everywhere. It burnt me knuckles. It burnt fucking everywhere.
You went so red. It was so
man,
funny.
I didn't feel it because it was such a cool breeze. Though. It was a lovely
day. So those of you who haven't listened yet, we had this lovely day experimenting with ley lines, dowsing rods, stone circles, and that was the last episode we did. It was episode 100. That
101.
101. It was of course it was episode 101. And for those of the people who've not listened to as well, we had a really good little interview with We Can Be Weirdos, a great podcast which we can highly recommend.
Yeah, really recommend it. And we're fucking famous now. No, we're not, are we?
Well, what I would like to say is a big welcome to all the new listeners who's come back off come to us from the back of that. So
hello.
From the Discord that was on We Can Be Weirdos. There's some listeners listen from there. Listen to my talk about doppelgangers.
Yeah. It sparked quite a thing about doppelgangers, didn't it?
It's rolled on through the episodes, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So that's been a bit of a thing, is that, you know. And it's weird because there's another one. There was a great interview with somebody. I think it was another podcast I listened to recently, and I think it was on the Guardian website, and they were talking about this woman who's a writer, and she had a doppelganger writer.
Oh.
But somebody who'd sort of like, people kept mixing her up and sort of saying, "Oh, you've turned a bit weird with your writing." She's like, "What? I'm writing as I normally am." But what was happening was this other writer they're mixing up with it is kind of swung to the far right, sort of fringe element, weird thing, conspiracy.
Same name then, no?
Almost very similar name.
Right,
very similar name.
Easy to mix up.
But she was basically a really good feminist writer at one point. Now she just turned into this weird, and I do not know what it is, what's powering this draw to people to become these sort of beady weirdy kind of. It's like the whole Russell Brand thing.
Exactly. I mean? You see where that's ended.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, to be fair, the whole Russell Brand debacle isn't ended.
Yeah.
I mean, it could end with him in jail, but he's using almost like the Donald Trump defence kind of thing, where he's saying everything's fake, everything's a conspiracy against me because it's all the mainstream media, super mainstream people saying that mainstream are against them. You know what I mean? It's absolute bullshit.
It's funny that he's been hung, drawn and quartered before. He ain't even got to a courtroom, has he? That's
one thing I don't agree with.
Yeah.
But then again, that's the thing where you swing too far left, too far right, too far sort of, I don't know, in one direction, where, you know, you've got to keep a little bit of Billy Balance. But that's what Kraken Cove's all about. We've got to keep open minds. You've got to study things.
Just one on that one. Did you hear when they release something to say, right, oh God, that's embarrassing, we can't get people to know that, let's release something massive to the world, so it's like a distraction. Well, Russell Brand came out. We heard it with Prince Andrew, the pedo prince.
Yeah.
He were in the Ukraine, like, sexy dancing with a couple of kids in it. Allegedly, in some disco in the Ukraine.
What, recently?
Yeah, well, like, when that hit, that should have been... When Russell Brand came out, that should have been out on the paper, but they said, hide that shit now, you know what I mean?
Prince Andrew has been sexy dancing
in the Ukraine, of all places, you know what I mean?
Sake.
Yeah, but that came... That were... Literally, they were all over the internet, you know what I mean? It never got a piece of print, obviously, but that were out there. Allegedly.
That is outrageous.
It's just so weird.
It's so messy, isn't it?
It is.
So messy.
Oh, it is.
That's why we need to stick to Lighthouse.
Yes, please.
We stick to a nice little cosy lighthouse.
Yeah.
We don't have to go out anywhere.
I went out last time, got burnt learnt to fuck. I'm staying at home, me. That's it. Never leaving Cove again.
Beer and fish fingers on tap.
Exactly. Pete's back. He's been super efficient recently.
He's been really good, hasn't he?
Really weirdly efficient.
Yeah, well, I think it's the orcas have kind of put the fear of God up, and that's why he rows so fast now.
Ah, he's trying to get out of water, right?
That's it. In fact, funnily enough, I mean, just as a little side note, a little piece I was going to put in this episode, which I will mention. Did you hear about the dolphin watchers? Recently, there's been one of everyone's been out on a boat watching dolphins. Oh, it's great! Right. And then somebody sort of said to you, there's a porpoise, lovely porpoise. So that's obviously dolphin-esque, looks dolphin-y, right? And the bloke running the dolphin sort of goes, oh, it's all going to kick off now. They're all going, but why? But why there's dolphins as a porpoise? Oh, dolphins don't like porpoise.
Oh.
All these
dolphins are fuckers, man.
Yeah. We've been saying this all along.
Exactly.
All along. Dolphins are fuckers. You know what I mean? Everyone thinks they're all smiley, happy. They're fucking psychopaths.
No, they are proper nutters.
You know what I mean? Like people who smile all the time, right? Indra cold.
Yeah, it's like a clown thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're just fucking evil.
They're evil. And so anyway, these dolphins turned on this porpoise, completely fucked it, turned the sea red with its blood.
Wow.
Murdered it in front of all these dolphins.
Biting
watchers.
And stuff then?
Yeah, well, a lot of the way that dolphins kill is ramming.
Oh.
Yeah, they ram with the beezer, right, with the snout,
yeah.
right? And so they ram fuck out of it and just basically beat it to death, you know. But you look at what dolphins do, I mean, they were wanking with all sorts of stuff.
Exactly, those fish and smoking puffer fish and all that shit. Yeah, they're crazy bastards.
The crazy bastards are dolphins, you don't mess with them, you know.
You hear about killer whales at breed?
I heard some off Flamborough, yeah. So it's
just spotted, you know what I mean? Just like, wow, it's really
coming closer. They're coming closer, that's the issue, yeah. Killer whales are bastards, dolphins are bastards, you know what I mean? You want to watch yourself, the only safe place to be is on an island in a lighthouse.
Surrounded by rock.
Yeah,
nice
this is
rock.
it, rock, lovely rock. That's what you need, you know what I mean? But you see, even like here now, we can see in the blue skies, we can see the swallows and all the martins and things like the swifts. They're all still here. They're still.
Well, should they have gone by now?
They kind of should have done. They should have done. You know what I mean?
September, aren't we now? Yeah, I suppose it's late.
It's a little bit late, but I think we've got a bit of good weather on the horizon. They're still fattening their bellies and things. And the thing is, as well, that what we've noticed, there's a lot of flies this season.
Yeah.
Because we've had damp, we had warm, we've had damp, we've had warm. That's been perfect for flies. So we've had lots and lots of flies. So there's loads of them to eat. Loads of things for them to eat. So they may as well. You don't fly away when the larder is still full.
Yeah, true, innit? Yeah.
You're staying, you fatten up a bit, and that's what they're doing at the moment. You know. But a weird. Because you were saying before, it's a bit of a weird thing. How the fuck do they know to go to Africa each year?
It's so weird. It's such a journey, innit? And all there's the poles and all that sort of stuff that they fly by. I think it's the monarch butterflies. There's a butterfly species, and they've got this weird pattern that they do. And they realise that it's such a mega massive migration. A butterfly?
Butterfly migrates. It's one of the biggest migrations on the planet.
Butterflies. No, because little birds' wings, I can't believe they do that journey. You're saying a butterfly?
Yeah, it's basically origami animal.
Yeah, little papery butterfly.
Yeah, they fly. They catch on like the jet stream sort of thing.
Shit.
And they'll fly thousands of miles in migrations.
Wait,
I think the migration, I believe it's in with America. It's an American landmass there, so it's like huge ones.
Over pond.
And I think they're over here. I don't know the full ones. I think they eventually end up in somewhere like New Mexico or something like this. But they're so long. But some of these migrations of some of these butterflies are so big. They're multi-generational. Yeah. So what happens is, they'll be in one place and they'll all hatch in one place and they all take to the wings sort of thing, and then they'll fly. Then what happens is then they'll rest in one spot, and in that spot they'll die. And they'll lay eggs and die, and they'll caterpillars, and the caterpillars will feed, and the caterpillars will turn into pupae, and pupae into butterflies, and they carry on the migration.
So they've never even been there. Some of them have never had that part of the journey. Oh, that's mind-blowing.
It's almost like a gigantic genetic migration of a species where they don't really get there. They only go en masse and they arrive, and then perhaps a couple maybe. But how they've got it in their mind.
It's insane.
Because another weird one I heard recently about caterpillars is, sort of like it was something. I think it was with electric shocks.
That bit about the jelly. They're a caterpillar. They electrocute them up or something, and they don't go onto the red square or something. You get electrocuted.
Yeah,
then when they go to jelly mush, and then they go to butterfly.
They're liquid with a mind.
I think that was on with the weirdo.
Yeah, I think
podcast.
We Can Be Weirdos.
Yeah,
I think it was. Yeah,
that is so. What the hell is going on there? Jelly. I just can't get my head around any of that.
Yeah, and again, it was a similar sort of thing. I was looking at this. I think there's a book out at the moment, and I think it's called "Thinking Outside Your Mind."
Yeah,
and it's the idea that group thought is becoming much more of a thing at the moment as well. Where
the collective consciousness that I've been harping on about, and you've been poo-pooing. So you read it somewhere else and you believe it. If it comes out of my trap, you don't want to know, do you?
You know full well I can't believe anything is. Because it could have come from a dream.
Yeah, sweet rapper.
Yeah, I don't know where it could have come from, but yeah, I did hear that it's become more of a thing. But it's something we'll look at a little bit later on.
It's something I do kind of believe in, though. It makes sense.
It kind of doesn't. It doesn't. I think the thing for me is, like, being a psychic phenomenon, we haven't really got there yet. We don't know what's sort of like in between minds, how we can communicate and all that kind of malarkey. But what it was ever since it was an AI device, wasn't it? It was the scanned a mind while it was listening to Pink Floyd. This mind. And they basically said to this robot or this machine that was reading the mind, sort of like the little brain waves.
Yeah.
As this person was listening to Pink Floyd, they're sort of saying, right, interpret what you're seeing.
Yeah.
And they got the song and everything, and just basically started singing along with it. AI can now read your mind.
So that didn't hear the music. It was just watching a silent video of a mind.
It was basically it was scanning the brain waves of what parts of the brain were waking up.
That is frightening. You got the tune and
you got the tune, got the song, got everything like that. You know what I mean? It worked out.
It's gonna fuck us so hard.
Yeah,
it's gonna be so metal.
Well, they even said, didn't they, as well with AI? They said, all the like Elon Musk and all this lot. They all got together and sort of said, look, shit, we're gonna have to pump the brakes on AI. But everybody involved in it says, look, we can't afford to pump the brakes. We've got to keep going now. We've got to keep going full bore because the Chinese are doing it, the Russians are doing it, everybody's doing it. Because if we pump the brakes here, we're just going to get fucked over by their AI. It is the Manhattan Project of the sort of like digital era.
Oh God, right?
So we can't stop. It's like the arms race.
Oh, we completely fucked it then.
Yeah.
This could be really soon as well.
It's going to be really.
That's awful.
Oh no, it's going to be soon, kids. We're going to get fucked by robots soon.
And they're so super clever, it'd be embarrassing, won't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is the thing that's sort of like that is part of the issue, you know what I mean? But maybe later on we'll have a little look at that kind of thing. Yeah,
if we've got time.
Yeah.
If we get to end the episode
without getting fucked or taken over. Well, what we need to do then is, as we do on KRAKEN COVE, the podcast that shines a beacon on the bazaar, we need to actually do a little bit of casting. So, quick introduction. I'm Matt.
I'm Benny.
So what we do is we're in our little lighthouse. We're going to cast the light out, which is a very special light, and it casts over news stories, strange things as well as guiding ships out at sea.
Yes.
Yeah, it does multi things. Very clever light. yeah, that's it. So what we're going to do is we're going to cast our light out now, and let us see what it shines a light upon.
Yes, please, Skipper. Hell, AI?
So this is a bit of a sort of this does all sort of tie into AI and all that sort of stuff, right? So we've touched on this particular subject before, Uncanny Valley.
Uncanny Valley?
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
You have.
All right.
We've spoken about it.
Uncanny Valley?
Yeah.
Right.
What do you think it is? This is good. This is
sounds like a cheese. They're like a soft cheese.
Fucking hell. Oh, I've got some crackers that weren't nice.
Oh, yeah.
Some Uncanny Valley spread out. Sounds like a cheese, man. Well, Uncanny Valley is a term, right, where we see something which isn't quite human enough for us to recognise it.
All right.
So, we get a bit spooked by dolls and stuff like this, don't we?
Yeah.
And things like this. So the thing, the trigger for Uncanny Valley is when we as humans see something which isn't quite human enough. So, for example, we can look at like a certain sort of doll.
Yeah.
Think, that's just a little doll, a kid's doll, that's all right, is that right? But then it gets more and more realistic, it gets creepy, doesn't it?
Yes.
Right, so the Uncanny Valley is the creepy zone.
Right.
That's the creepy zone, is that right? Well, we feel a bit weird, it makes us feel a bit ick.
Yeah.
And things like this. So we'll also see certain sort of.
It has to be humanoid. Like, remember the No Deer episode where it's like it's
that's
not
right. Yeah.
So it can be other things. It's
well,
just,
it kind of can be, but the 90% of it is it's the humanoid thing. Us seeing something, which
and it's like a skinwalker kind of effect. So it's like it's like a person. You think that ain't a person.
That's exactly right.
I've seen some videos of the Jinn,
Oh yeah.
I've seen a really bad one, and it's just it wasn't right. That person in front, his facial expressions and how he were acting wasn't human at all.
That's the thing. So I think that's the issue that we have, sort of thing. This is what it's all humans have it.
Yeah, when it's wrong.
Yeah, we know when it's wrong, right? Why do you think we have it?
Oh fuck yeah. Have we had a predator before or something? Is it something? Look, yeah. Why would you have something like that?
Because this is
vampires are real.
Well, this is what's sort of kind of terrifying. It's a situation where we have something in our genetic makeup where we are programmed to look out for something which looks a bit humanoid but isn't.
Wow.
So, for example, say like have you seen those videos where you have a cat and you put a cucumber next to a cat?
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
And the cat goes apeshit because it
really
thinks it's a snake.
Yeah.
But that cat has never seen a snake, but there's something in its genetic makeup that says, like, look out for snakes.
Yeah. And it's still there, that prominent.
Yeah.
They jump up higher than fridge, don't they, when they see that cucumber?
This is it. Higher than fridge. Well, this is it. So this is what they have, whereas our equivalent of that is the Uncanny Valley. It is things like clowns.
Right, yeah. So that lady on that plane, that is not a human.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's all that.
Oh, clowns, right?
Yeah, as well that also
vibe. And loads of people don't like clowns.
Yes, it's all that same thing. It's something which is humanoid, but we know or we fear perhaps isn't.
Yeah.
So what's it from?
I still say again, is it something to do with like vampires or some fucking bullshit like
Could
that?
Be
like
aliens.
Like some above us, a predator above us, or maybe not a predator, a ruling like class or something.
But could it be ruling? Because like I say, it could be who knows what. But I had a theory recently which really interested me. I'm personally, I sort of tap into that stuff because it freaked me out when I first heard this. We're thinking, hang about. We have an instinct to fear something humanoid on Earth. When we are the apex sort of like mind, if you like. So we have been programmed. There's something that has frightened us as a race, as a species.
Enough to be DNA'd into us.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah, so I think so. What the fuck was it?
Well, what do you think?
Well, a good one I heard was people think it could be Neanderthals.
Right, that's good. Yeah, because we were on Earth at the same time.
Yeah. So it could have been like, hey, is it us? Is it humans? Or is it these big hard nuts that come around and just chin everything?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That could have been it, potentially. That could have been. But at the same time, it could be. I have a feeling there's something we're missing here.
Yeah.
With something very serious, because there's also been some other little discoveries recently. They're discovering wooden structures on the edge of this African river, I believe it is.
Right. And it's like predates everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, like 500,000 years. It predates us as humans.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's Homo sapiens. It's like I think Homo erectus era. The people building structures, right-angle structures, which could have been the corner of like log houses.
Crikey.
So the thinking is, I think these. I'm genuinely coming around to the idea now. There's a lot of other things in prehistory we've missed.
Yeah.
There's a whole prehistory which we have. And I'm not saying it's like things that spaceships or flying cars.
Full Graham Hancock bullshit.
Yeah, it's not. No, that's it. It's not going fully to that extent. But there is a whole. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of what Graham Hancock. He's
on and off. Don't get me wrong. A lot of his stuff is good, but I think he goes a bit fucking.
He shoots from the hip.
Yeah.
And he takes massive leaps and said, well, this could have happened. Now, because if that could have happened, and this is right, and this is right, and this is right, whoa, pump the brakes, man. It just goes off too far.
I do think there was stuff before the big flood. I think there were like proper like civilizations.
Yeah, I think there was something has happened. There's been some civilization that was a lot stronger, a lot more advanced. Because things like talking of Atlantis and stuff like this, you know, and it's, you know, those concepts are utopias, you could say, you know, or the lifestyles or better times. When you sort of think, well, why is this, again, another thing, why has this gone down through collective consciousness or memory or even through storytelling? Why are these things still here? You know, and I think there's something in this. I think with there's something happened, there's been some sort of occurrence or people on Earth we've had to watch out for.
Yeah.
I really do. I think there's something. And
well, if you're going to go back to that bit, we were monkeys, and, you know, and then we suddenly turned into a really clever, Homo erectus. Is it Homo erectus? What the hell? Man. We turned into a man from a monkey. Did someone come down, full fucking black monolith, and just said, right, I want you to fucking dig for gold? I need you a little bit cleverer, I need you a little bit faster, and I want you to think on your own. So, here you go.
Yeah.
You're
being uplifted, genetically uplifted.
And then they whip the shit out of us to get gold or something like that. They keep coming back, where's my gold, bitch? And we're scared shitless.
Do you think that's what the aliens are coming back for?
Big time, what our gold?
What our gold?
I don't know, they like gold, don't the aliens?
Do they?
I reckon. Well, makes sense. Like the ships, they've got to have like superconductor shit inside it. Maybe coltan or whatever that fucking shit is.
What?
Is it coltan? That mineral that's like a better conductor than gold.
Oh, I don't know.
Whipping everybody in Africa to go dig for it.
Oh, shit.
You know, the big coltan mines.
Yeah, it might have been something to do with our sort of like mineral wealth then, perhaps, some sort of aliens being coming down through. And weirdly enough, actually, I have discovered that some apes do have uncanny valley.
All right.
So
what cheese? I want to try it. Well, they got shops.
Fucking all cheese and white pie.
They're really advanced. Look, they're evolving.
Yeah, look at all that little
they're eating that cheese now.
Look, they're going around a little unicycle and everything. Monkey in dungarees and a monocle sat there eating his cheese.
Never mind PGT.
Clever girl. Never mind PG6.
So what? They're looking at us like we're scary, or
no? I think they've done these things like a spy in the camp kind of thing.
Yeah,
apes and stuff. They've introduced some freaky little fucking monkey with robot eyes.
Oh, all right, yeah.
That is what they've. So they put them in, going, oh well, we'll just study the monkeys with this little monkey, and all the other apes and stuff like this are coming up. What the fucking hell? This robot piece of shit.
You can see it straight away.
Yeah, they've got it so straight away. They know it, you know. But these other animals,
when they're dressed up as pandas and all that, it makes me feel a bit
weird.
Monkeys?
Yeah.
They'd do anything to get that cheese, man.
I want to show you, sort of travelling on from what we've just been looking at there, you know, is a series of images, right? I don't want you to read any of the things around, so what I'm going to do now, I've got these images, we'll put these up on our...
I'm not reading, I'm looking at pictures.
Not reading, just looking at pictures, your favourite thing. Right, now check these out. Right. Whoa. So what I'm showing Benny is a series...
Like an alien massage shit going on.
Yeah, so we've got these images of these very, very weird images.
It's more like there's like 3 aliens, 2 aliens, 1 alien's pulling another alien, like a black alien's pulling a white alien.
Yeah.
It's kind of getting a bit sexy time now. Is that his dong? What's that there? What the hell is all this, man?
It's weird. So what's your...
It's all like alien, like sex yoga stuff going on with chairs and stuff.
Well, do you know something? That's actually pretty good. This is a series of images called Gynaecological Gymnastics from Outer Space.
Whoa.
Right. And I've seen this for a while now, this, you know. But, I mean, how sort of... Give a year to it, you know what I mean?
looks kind of, I'd say 19. I'm going to go pretty hippy dippy, like 70s.
This is from 1895.
Whoa.
Now, what we're looking at here is a set of rather uncanny diagrams from the Heilgymnastik in der Gynäkologie und die mechanische Behandlung von Erkrankungen des Uterus und seiner Entdeckung nach Thurbrand.
I've actually read that.
You just look at pictures?
You what? So is that German?
So this is translated from the German as the physiotherapy in gynecology and the mechanical treatment of diseases of the uterus and its appendages by Thurbrand, right?
Oh.
So basically these are just gynecological diagrams.
Isn't it about fannies?
Yes!
There's no... I can't see any there. They're all like on chairs. It looks like he's going to slap his bum or something, but that's the closest. He's got his hands around his neck.
Well, a lot of things of this era were about physical exercises which would actually sort of things like strengthen certain areas, would that would sort of give you musculature or strength, almost like sort of gymnastics.
Fanny gymnastics would make it super strong.
Yeah, well, kind of, yeah, because a lot of people back in the day, you see, you'd have like 10 kids, you know, and then you'd have a prolapsed uterus, which is basically the whole
lot comes out.
All engine and gearbox falls out.
Oh, woo! Yeah. Oh, wow.
And that's a lot of the time because a lot of women of the era, or certain women of the era, because some of them working like the fucking arse off all the time.
Yeah.
But some women weren't in great physical shape, to be honest, because they were sitting around wearing corsets, just doing not much, having children, eating very little, and passing out all the time.
Yeah,
so they weren't strong.
Yeah.
So all they were doing was firing out loads of kids, and they weren't in great shape.
Wow.
So they were actually having all these sort of like gynecological issues and problems.
Right, man.
And of course, at the time, the only doctors were male.
Yeah.
And these things weren't brought up. These things weren't discussed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They didn't want to know, did they?
No, so what they think these imageries, which basically, as you quite rightly said, it looks like aliens.
Can you just say the initial name of it again? Because I thought you did mention the aliens in it.
Well, it's Gynaecological Gymnastics from Outer Space. That's what it's kind of known as now. Right, that's the sort of thing.
Just because it could be like simple pictures of people, or they look like aliens, don't they?
They'll look like aliens. These images, they've got no mouth, they've got a shape where a nose goes, and no ears.
Two big black eyes.
Bulbous heads, long, weird, thin, spindly limbs. Now, it seems like the colour of the main character that is being manipulated is very white. They think that is the woman.
Yeah.
The darker character who is doing the manipulating is often seen as the man. In other areas, there's a pure black figure, which completely throws things off as well, which is very strange. You know what I mean? But what the thinking is, these figures are made like that to be as androgynous as possible.
Yeah.
Because of the era, 1895, even basic diagrams of women could have been seen as sexy.
Yeah, exactly. And a bit of ankle, it will like
so
too much
all
for
this sort
them,
of thing is it's been created to be, so it's not a sexy image. It's all just physical, almost like literally stick figures.
Yeah, that's right. It's just a little bit chubbier than a stick man.
It's just a stick figure, you know. But the overall result is genuinely uncanny.
Yeah,
It's
really strong,
strange.
Well, that's what you're saying. The old things were about super strong.
Not super.
Like opening beer with them and stuff like that.
A snapping pussy.
Oh, me tin of soup wrinkles come off. Get it here, son.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bang. This is, I think, that people doing now, and there's loads of women, you know, but suffer this issue.
Oh,
you
boy,
know,
I
how your back
thought.
end went.
Yeah. It all fall out.
I didn't know it is. I was just saying that.
No, right. Goes all the time.
But basically the sphincter muscles, which obviously muscular sort of like rings of muscle which open and close. that kind of gets a little bit loose with age and with having lots and lots of kids and stuff, you know. So it's an issue. So these women are sort of like being encouraged. These are gynecological exercises.
I'm going to say, there's a lot of help nowadays, isn't there? But back then, you're right, that was probably only it.
Absolutely groundbreaking.
Wow, to talk about it, that's ace at someone's... Great for German. I bet it is a German doing stuff like that.
Yeah, Germans do stuff like that.
Yeah, because we're also... I bet we wouldn't even allow that in England, those imagery, you know what I mean?
How dare you manipulate the fair sex like that?
Yes, you animals.
What you need to do is just let everything fall out because we can't see it for the petticoats. Whereas, like you say, like there's a lot more advances and sort of groundbreaking stuff and things were being talked about. I personally think though the reason why the Germans are a lot more direct is the language. Yeah. Because if you look at like German words, I find German words really, really fascinating. They're always like a portmanteau, which is like a collection of words, sort of like, it's like, I don't know, I'll have to look up some examples. Yeah. But German words, usually, if it's not like us, well, we might have one particular word for something, like, I don't know, like sprocket, or we might have a word sort of like dibber. We'll use a word like this or something. Whereas Germans use a collection of words put together to mean what it is.
All right.
So it might be sort of like... you know, that's why if you look at German, they're very long words. So it might sort of mean like, and when you directly translate, it means like, as you say, ring pull. It means like metal ring can top open thing sort of thing, and that's the direct sort of translation of what it means. And there's lots of sort of thing, you know, that do that. They don't have these. Because it's a Germanic language, it's not a flowery romantic language, which is our particular language, and they call it the romantic languages, things like the Italian, French, Spanish, you know, they're like the romantic languages.
And we're a little bit like that than the English modern than the German.
We've got a crossover. So we've got, I mean, a lot of, I used to, you know, a good friend of mine, she's German, and she sort of described this before, saying like, you know, there's no such thing as like sexy talk in German. You know, it's not really, people do talk, and you know, it is basically sort of very much, it's quite crude and sort of like, you know, if it's going to be sort of like thick and mein Arschloch.
Oh, wowzers! I remember that one from my youth.
But when you're at school?
Well, we're always German.
PE teachers.
Our car were always German when you were young. Like we didn't have it or anything, and it was sort of like just German.
Explosion! But it was, everything is, it's not the sort of flowery way of talking. Everything's quite sort of like harsh and to the point. Yeah. So there's not this beating around the bush, so to speak. Talking about a German pod. It is a lot more sort of, you know, to the point and direct.
I was thinking the other day, here we go. I thought if we had a word for everything instead of sharing words, we won't be laughing as much as what we do. You know, English humour would be completely, you know, 98% of it would be gone.
Well, that's why people like English humour, and because
just a play on words, that's all we've got. That's his main bit in it. We've got like one shot at it, and it's the play on words.
Play on words, and I think that's the sort of like the source of all our humour, really, or the base of a lot of our humour was the play on words. This sort of, you know, that.
And
kind
if you
of
don't
thing.
have it, that's why Germans don't laugh as much as we do.
Well, they laugh at our stuff. But this is why I mean, you probably know this already, but one of the biggest selling comedies on the planet,
Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean.
Yeah,
because it's you know, it's a pantomime. It's it's basically a silent movie. Yeah, you know, it's physical.
He's
comedy.
Very clever bloke. Yeah. Mr. Bean was very clever. Cause
it's even now you look back on it, it's funny as fuck.
It is. It's really good. And you're right. I've been in other countries seeing it live, and how they're reacting to it is just brilliant. More than what we are.
And I tell you what, though, I used to love Mr. Bean, but you watch it now. It's bleak as fuck.
Is it?
Well, it's weird because of the era that it was recorded in. It sort of looks dark and grey.
Yeah. Fucking England's weird with that. We just 5 years later, everything looks so gritty.
It's like we just come out of the war.
It does, doesn't it? It's all nuclear, you know what I mean? It's proper, and you watch some shit from 80s, and it's like super bleak shit. Isn't it?
Yeah, he's just dire.
Yeah,
and you look at it, bloody hell, did the sun never shine?
Yeah, I don't think it did.
You know, you get like footage of sort of like news reports on the beach. It's sort of like, and here we are at Scarborough. It's 32 degrees, and it looks like it's sort of, I don't know, like you said, nuclear nuclear winter. It looks overcast and vile. Everyone's standing around. Blokes are still in suit and trousers, sort of smoking fags. And it's like 1989, and you're like, what's going on there?
Yeah, even 90s are funny. You think it were all raves and it got like modernised. It didn't at all in 90s.
No,
it was still super fucking bleak.
Especially in the north.
Yeah. You didn't catch up, did it?
No, not until now.
And Bradford's still like it.
It's getting worse.
Getting more 80s every day.
God, it is.
Oh, it's fucking bleak.
I had to drive across Bradford, 4 times this week. Fuck a doodle do. What a grim city,
mate. I went, like I was saying to you, taking kids to Muay Thai, and it's down Little London. I got a car, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, I'll actually pause that shit because I need to show you a picture. Like, we're looking round. We didn't go in for 10 minutes because we were looking round so much at it because it was just so fucking bleak.
So where I need to get an idea where Little London is in.
It's like
Little London in Leeds, yeah.
Yeah, it's proper Gucci. Oh, I don't see it. Did I take? Oh, it's all like this little tiny mini canal system, and I mean the canal was that big.
What?
Exactly, but it had all this special. It looked like I don't know, like an industrial river. It wasn't a river. Oh, fucking deleted it like a chimp.
Ah.
But we couldn't figure it out. We came out of a little tunnel, went back into a little tunnel, tiny little river. Right.
Well, I might be able to shed some light on this.
No, I knew when I stood there. So I'll take a picture. Our kid will know.
Yeah.
I was trying to Google it, and it was like laughing at me.
Well, it's if you know that you obviously heard of Holbeck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was talking to somebody else about this recently. It's a fascinating area. Me and a mate of mine
I know it quite well.
He's worked with like architecture and all sorts of stuff, and he's done some surveying and all this sort of thing. And we went magnet fishing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's quite good fun, is that? And which basically, for those who don't know, it was a hyper-powered magnet. You slung it in canals and things.
Pull out guns and knives.
Hand grenades and things. Yeah. And it's a lot of fun. And he said, right, well, what we want to do now is one of these little trips. He says, do you want to go have a bit of an investigation of, Holbeck? And there is this beck that runs through the Hunslet-Holbeck area.
All right.
But it's because what the Victorians did, well, we can't have this mucky old stream or river sort of flowing through this area. They built these stone, really quite ornate waterways for
this
them.
Is exactly what I saw, an ornate tiny little thing for a tiny little stream. You're just
that's what it was. And they look like little canals and stuff, But it's basically just to tame a stream or river that's running through city centres and town centres. That's what the river.
Obviously, we're looking at it, it's ancient. There's burnt out cars, there's just graffiti everywhere. We're looking at it, it's all red brick, kind of really old mill type. God, it was so bleak and horrible. It was unbelievable, really dark.
Yeah,
really pitch
that's
black,
the thing.
man.
So these places, they sort of like they decided in that era that because they were so filthy, basically used as sewers. Yeah. So they clad them and made them manageable as sewers.
That's not bad. It's a shite. It's not sticking to soil. It's literally chuck a load of bucket of bleach in now and again. You might just like clean it out.
Even a lot of it was just a matter of somebody getting in and scraping it out. Oh. You can scrape down to the stone, clean it all down the street, and you're good to go. It's not, as you say, you're not having flies, cholera, things like this all going on.
Washing it with constant water,
so
washing it away.
It just turns it into a workable
That's
sewer
very
system.
clever. Well done, Arkin. I knew you'd know. Clever sausage.
Full of shit, mate. Unlike Holbeck. Well, it is actually.
Yeah, it is really stabby. Did we actually finish what we're on about then?
No, I'll do. About pelvic floors of women and stuff like this.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I think we'll drift on. We'll drift with this woman who used to work at B&M Bargains, right?
Class.
Which is, B&M. It's a weird thing. I haven't been in B&M for a while. Is it a UK wide thing?
Oh, I think it is. Yeah, I think it's getting a bit greggy, isn't it?
Hit what?
Bit Greggs, you know, it's everywhere.
Oh,
you know
right,
I mean?
I'm with you. Yeah, it is everywhere, yeah. So for people who don't know, because we do have quite a lot of listeners now in Australia, America, places like that. So for all our people overseas listeners, B&M Bargains, right, you can always guess what this is. It's the sort of place, it's an absolute tat fest.
Yeah.
But there's loads of shit in there. You think, oh god, this is full of. I need one of them.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and they do scampi fries and those bacon frizzles. You know, they still do
so you
them.
Can get you sort of like
old classic stuff.
And I know you can get
loads
like
of tin
things
food
like
shit.
Bottled beer for £1 called things like Proper Job and
stuff
like that. You know what I mean?
So
you can go in there for your beers and you can go in there for bits and bats, but mainly what you're going in there for is loads of shiny tat. You might get things like pens and pencils for kids for school. Gardening shit.
Yeah, it's very seasonal, isn't it? You know, they'll bust out Halloween, they'll bust out Christmas.
Absolutely, but it's
cheap. It's all cheap shit.
It's all the stuff that's destroying the planet.
Yeah.
It's like a pound shop.
Yeah.
It's a bit like.
And grannies love to go in and get some like tinned fish.
That's absolutely right.
Of
tinned
fish
in there. Yeah,
loads of.
Cans of chews if it can and stuff like that. You know what I mean? All this sort of bollocks you can get in there, but it's a bit bleak.
It is, yeah. It's not a nice shop.
Yeah. Do you find that there's some people love them?
Loads of people love it. Yeah. It's like a day out in it for them. You know, go to Greg's, go to B&M. It's like we've had a good day.
There's that one down opposite where you used to live. Have you seen that one there? Is it an Aldi that's up there?
Oh, that's Home Bargains. Is that one?
There's a Home Bargains there.
It's like a little step up from B&M.
I think there's a big Greg's, almost like a Greg's Superstore.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Welcome to Leeds, home of a Greg's Superstore, and then next to it there's a meat shop called The Meat Shop.
Yeah, a tanning salon
next to meat shop.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And did you see? It's almost like they've got like a grill halfway down, sort of between the walls. So humans on one side and dead things on the other. But I can't get. Would you buy any meat from a shop called The Meat Shop?
No, I can't, because it's not classifying it, is it? It's not a butcher's.
It's not close enough, is it?
What kind of meat? What do you mean?
What do you mean meat?
It's just a bit mixed meat shop.
Have you ever seen one of these? Have you ever seen a meat van?
No.
Fucking hell, police vans. No, this thing I saw. This thing it were at a market. And not the market side, it were a different market, sort of somewhere like Skipton or sort of like, you know, out in sort of not sticks, but and it's basically just a big sort of like big wagon rocks up and then
mobile butchers.
It kind of is, and it's imagine like a big wagon, you know, like a big articulated lorry, right? So then the side half.
An Arctic truck?
It's like that.
Fucking hell.
Right, then half the side falls down on the side. Not the bottom half, the top half. So this guy's raised up. Right?
Like some preacher of
like
meat.
A meat preacher.
Then what happens?
He starts selling meat.
Shit.
So basically he stands there, right? And he's got like a couple of people behind him working away, right?
White coats.
White coats, blood on them.
Yeah.
Right, he's going, right, I've got this joint here, what's this joint? Yeah, 20 quid.
Auctioning off meat.
But he just has a set price for it, so he's weighing it out and he just shouts at everybody, I've got this joint here, beef joint, 20 quid, who wants it for, right, over there.
Chucks meat.
Takes money off of him, always cash. He has a shoot.
A meat shoot?
Meat shoot, it's literally like you're like a kid slide.
No, like Sweeney fucking Todd.
Yeah.
Or that other nutter in America.
So you go across then and stand at the end of the meat shoot.
The meat shoot.
The meat shoot.
Oh,
and he just drops it down.
That is so depressing.
So you can't get into this weird armoured Mad Max style butchers. You painted it with that, yeah. It is Mad Max. He's not selling meat at 70 mile an hour. You're having to pull up in van trying to get it.
Get winner of again. The meat shoot's coming.
It's all on motorway like this. All these sort of June buggies and stuff all coming up and trying to sell meat to him on his sort of bloody apron. Or pulling up to his shoot.
Oh, that's weird.
It's the bleakest thing
That
I've
is
ever seen.
disgusting. That is. I like a nice fish van, you know, like from Whitby rocks up and that'll, normal
like
high
fish.
fishman,
Fish from a fish man.
That's nice, you know what I mean? But not a meat wagon. That's fucking awful. I bet every single customer shops at B&M. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they'd go wild for it. Go fucking wild for it. That's why he has to be in the armoured van.
Yeah,
and have meat shoot because all B&Mers are going absolutely ballistic.
Frenzied. Yeah, proper frenzied over the
meat. What does B&M stand for? Benny and Matt.
Yeah, could be. Oh, that's grim. No. God, that's fucking wrong, is that? I don't like the sound of that.
Well, anyway, this lass has had enough of this. She's had enough, so she was working in B&M, so she's giving up now, right? Good so lass. She's making money the only way that she knows how. She's on OnlyFans.
Oh, all right.
So this lass is on OnlyFans, right? So she's quit her job, right? And she's making £20,000 a month. Posting videos on OnlyFans, right? And she's 27 years old. Tasha Good, she's called, so you can look her up later for a bit of fun. I've looked this up, right, in the purposes of research, and fucking hellfire. She was stacking shells, right, for fuck all, you know what I mean, for an absolute minimum wage, right, like that. And she's had enough, right? So what she started doing, she's discovered she's got a special talent. So she's working with, she's got 1,000 subscribers. And I don't know how to really put it, she started just in lingerie pictures and a few sex videos. She started doing that. And she was basically shagging her husband a bit and sort of posting them online, right? And then, like I say, she discovered she's got a special talent.
Fucking hell, here we go.
She's fucking these massive dildos.
I was going to joke, and I thought, no, I won't just paint the fucking tar and feather with it. Right, big space opera dildos, aren't they? The fucking...
I've never seen this before! Look at these fucking things!
Yeah, it's all alien stuff, innit? You know what I mean?
Dragon. So you're aware of it?
Dragon cock stuff.
This is her.
I paid for it. No, I just... Well, one time, you know, when you like, you because it is all jiggly now, isn't it? And
everything's like, jiggling.
And it's awful. Once the algorithm knows, if you're on Instagram or especially TikTok, once they get into it, you know what I mean, you just jiggling. If you watch one jiggler and watch her twice, she's jiggling, you know, she comes up all the time.
Yeah, all you see is her jiggling, yeah.
I thought, wow, you know what, I'm just going to put her name into Google and see what happens. And that's how I know about these dragon things.
Right.
Yeah, there's only thing, wait a minute, that little birdie thing there is what the...
I mean, right, I'm not kidding. This is just an ordinary looking lass, you know what I mean? And she's just nice, nice enough, nice lass, everything like that. But she's pretty ordinary. She's nice,
very ordinary,
high street nice. You know what I mean? She's not sort of like this, but she just has this fucking ability. She's got these dildos. They call, like you said, they call them fucking dragon cock or whatever it is. Giant. Well, one of them's a massive ice cream. But they're massive. They're literally as thick as my thigh.
The babies. Basically, she's putting babies up her instead of babies coming out of her. But big rubbery thing.
And she is bouncing up and down on these things. And they are. But the length... What I can't think is the length of them.
I know.
I'm thinking... That's touching her fucking lungs.
That is moving body parts out of the way. She's rearranging her own insides.
Fuck's sake, man.
20 grand a month?
Yeah. No. Right, yeah, for 20 grand a month, would you sort of see if you get... Right.
No, we've gone down this before. Don't make me feel all cheap.
But she needs the fucking gynecological exercises from that space. She must be doing exercises to keep things tight.
Absolutely.
Because in there, it must be hanging down like a fucking...
Man, I can't understand
like the mouth of a tired dog.
But who the fuck is paying to watch that? Regular people are paying.
Oh my god, yeah.
You know who's paying for that shit? You got free porn. We've never had it so good.
You're right, you're hitting on something which I honestly can't understand this. Who's paying for porn when there's so much free porn? How niche is it going to be that you want to be paying for it?
Is it that bit where you're like in touch and you personalise? You send the message, "Hi Ben, how you doing? Yeah, I'll get the ice cream out today for you," or something like that. Oh yeah, cheers. Look. Is it because it's personalised rather than complete strangers on a video? Is it?
Maybe so.
Well, there are fucking some loser men's out there.
But you know, get buyer's regret, don't you? So if you invest in something, you buy something, you sort of think, oh god, I've spent 400 quid on that. Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, and then you lay awake at night thinking, you idiot, you've done it again.
Yeah,
you paid 400
quid. Why can't you stop?
Yeah. I wonder if they have, because let's face it, you know, I mean, you have some silly ideas, don't you, sometimes, if you're a bit, you know, you've got full knackers.
A bit fruity.
You know, and all that happens is you might sort of like, once you've popped your load, you think, well, I'm glad I didn't spend 500 quid on something stupid, you know what I mean, or anything like that. Or, again, if you're indulging in certain sort of like toys and devices and things, once you've popped your cork, and you have to sort of pull it back out your arse, I just think to myself, you know, don't do it because you'll regret it.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Just don't do it.
Once pudding's gone, that's it. You're going to feel awful about yourself.
Go, oh, and whatever it is you've done it into, you've got to rinse it under the tap, and you're sort of thinking, oh, God.
There would have pictured a bit ago over like taking mick, because they're like this.
What have you?
They're like this right proud woman kind of smiling, and she's got this massive shelving unit behind her, and it was just full of those.
Well, I think this is her.
No, they were different.
Oh, no, is it not? She's right.
No,
well, this lass has got fucking loads of them.
Yeah.
She needs 20 grand a month to buy dildos. She's just spending a fortune on rubber dick. Do you know what? Maybe she's not.
But they'll be buying them for her.
Yeah. Or they'll be buying them. All the makers will be advertising. Look, they will fit in a fanny.
Yeah,
you
look
can
at
get
that.
one.
Yeah. God, in China, the production line, you know, they've always had them, you know what I mean?
Potatoes.
Yeah, they're just thinking every year, you know what I mean? Look how weird they're getting over there. They're like...
You must be thinking that. They must be looking at these and going, oh, what's this, what we make? We've got a new mould now. All right, okay, everyone, gather round. We've got a new product out. All right, what we're doing this time, boss? It's this.
The Dragon Fist.
Yeah. I'm thinking, what's it for, boss? Oh, it's for Western women to shove up the fannies. And it's like, why? Why are you doing that?
You know me, I like to have a little imagination. Think, how can I improve the Cove? And I was thinking, like, I've got a little model lighthouse, you know what I mean? I'm going to paint it up like the Cove, and then I'm going to put like it in a paddling pool and get a pump so it looks like fake sea, you know what I mean?
Lovely, yeah.
And I've got like a bit of background thing, you know, to make like a Cove that I can manipulate. And
is that because you spent all your time recently making little toys?
Yeah, kind of, basically. That's the little side hustle. But, then I thought, I need like a monster to come out, you know, like the Kraken. And I thought, where can I get like a Kraken limb from?
No.
Then I thought, get a second-hand squid one. You know? Just chuck it in a bucket of Dettol for a bit, you know what I mean?
No, just leave it as is, because it'll give the smell of the Cove away.
But then manipulate it out, you know what I mean? And then they start attacking the Cove with it. I thought, Ben, just stop. And
don't do that.
Yeah, don't do any of that.
Don't do any of it.
Just go watch some telly and just have a nice night. Just stop.
You probably did the right thing.
Yeah,
there.
just pull yourself back, lad.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
You can't even do it.
We're going to sort of like take a bit of a swerve away from all that malarkey now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that's what we're going to do. And a bit of a friend of the show was it's not Debs, but it's Deborah Hatswell. So Debs, who we did with, who saw the monster in the street, sort of
remember
thing.
Well,
yes. A much earlier episode. I thought, well, first Halloween.
Is she still listening? Hi, Debs.
I don't know.
Oh.
But there's like a big Bigfoot research group thing where like strange occurrences and stuff like that.
And this is local, isn't it?
Yeah, this is quite local. Well, these stories come from all over the place, right? And this is one in Kilmarnock, so this is Scotland, is this?
Nice.
So this is an account that I've just downloaded from their website, which I can highly recommend. Very new download is this one. Ooh. This is a new piece for the Bigfoot. I think BBR something of it's called or something. But if you look up Deborah Hatswell online, you'll see their website. I can highly recommend it. It's a really good read of anything weird.
Definitely.
You know, we did read out one of hers before, which was a sighting of the Green Man. In the woods. So she's seen things. This is why she collates these stories now. And this is one of the witness reports from her website. And it says, "Hi, my name is Martin, and I experienced something really weird when I was a kid, and I wanted to report it and see if anyone else has experienced the same thing. My family are a traveller family, and in my younger days we would move from area to area as we needed to. At one point, we moved from a farm in Blackrod, which is near to Chorley in Lancashire. We lodged on that farm for a long time while we stayed in one of the caravans, but there came a time when the farmer decided to sell up and move on. And when he did buy his new farm in Scotland, we decided to move with him. I bet you were chuffed with that.
Well, no.
Fucking hell, they're here and all. I sold everything and they're all roped up. Anyway, it was a long move as we had to travel out of England and into Scotland, and that seemed a really long way to travel to a kid my age. The area we moved to was called New Mills, and it was in Kilmarnock. It was very remote, and we were situated about 10 miles from the nearest town. Sometimes in winter we had to literally use a tractor to get food from the nearest village and back because the snow was so deep.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Scotland is wild. It's a load wilder than the UK, you know what I mean? So the farm was absolutely huge from my recollection. Around 2,000 acres surrounded by dense forests, and not far from us was the moors, rivers and streams, and no people around except for us. As a 10-year-old lad, my dad used to send me out hunting with a 2.2 rifle to catch and kill rabbits, pheasants and small birds for the ferrets we kept.
Oh,
so I'm quite liking this. And also collecting wood for the log burners in the caravans was another of my responsibilities around the place, so I was often out on my own in the woods and fields.
Oh, bless.
I've heard some really freaky stuff out in those woods, and I've seen a lot of dead animal carcasses that looked out of place even to me, being used to the countryside and the way animals take and kill prey. I didn't recognise the quote-unquote animal responsible for those kills. When I think back with what I know now, I can say that there was a lot of UFO activity in the area. We all saw strange lights in the sky at night all the time, and so often as a young child it became the norm. As I said, I was only young, and only now as I'm older I have access to the internet that I started to put two and two together. What sticks out the most in my memory is one day in particular. I was out hunting as usual about a mile away from where we were camped, and I was moving quietly, keeping my eyes open and trying not to disturb any birds until I wanted to. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I had an overwhelming sense that someone or something was watching me. I realised everything around me went dead quiet. No bird song, no wind in the trees, nothing. Just dead silence that was unnerving. I was overwhelmed by fear and looking all around me, trying to make out someone hiding in the shrub and movement of sound that would give them away. It wasn't the middle of the night and dark, it was daytime, and the light shimmering through the trees can play tricks on the human mind. As I was looking, I thought I saw something moving in there, but it's so dense in those pine trees, and I just realised they could be anywhere, so I set off running. Whatever was in there was following me out of the woods, crashing and banging, but every time I looked back I could not see it. I ran really fast as a kid, and I was quite proud of the fact that nobody could catch me at running back then. But whatever it was keeping up with me, and I think catching up to me also. I heard branches and twigs snapping behind me, but at that point I stopped looking back because I knew it was hot on my heels. I hear of all these missing 411 cases now, and all that runs through my mind is I could have been on that list, but I ran out of it. Now, I'm not sure what the 411 cases are. I'm going to have to look into that.
I think that's that one in America when you're in national parks.
Oh, right. Yeah. Is that what that is? Yeah.
It
So basically, yeah, he's obviously escaped, though. You know what I mean? But I had that same thing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I had that same sensation in the woods. And weirdly enough, about 2 weeks back, I went back to those woods for the first time.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's still a weird and eerie place. There's still an atmosphere that's a bit strange, you know. But I also, while I was there, I investigated there's a Neolithic settlement in them woods.
Wow.
So I've been on the old investigation path for that, and I think I found a lot more rock and stone which could have been placed there by, 4,000 or 5,000 years ago, you know what I mean? So it's very interesting.
How did dog behave? Just fine?
She was fine, there was nothing freaky weird happening, it was absolutely fine, everything was cool. But that report there by Martin is exactly what I felt, exact same feeling.
I think it's those kind of places you can go 100 times, but it's that particular time.
Yeah, there's certain times where you are not welcome here. You know what I mean, this is not for you today.
Jesus, that's a good report.
Yeah, it's a good report.
Especially
weird,
even knowing the woods that well, you know what I mean. And he doesn't seem like a pushover type of kid, you know what I mean. It's just like so much really.
Well, I think sometimes as well, I don't know what you think, but it might be just because where we grew up and things, but it's like, for me, the really weird woods are the ones sort of almost like between housing estates and little gap woods, places that have been there. They're like liminal spaces, the gaps between that you can fall through.
Yeah, it's the same with ginnels, you know what I mean, or alleyways, whatever else England calls them. I always found them very like a presence in them. I love them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I
do as
feeling,
well. It's a bit of a strange feeling.
There's a bit of everything in there, a bit of danger, a bit of this is a nice shortcut.
Well, this town, especially sort of like where we are, well, you know, the Cove, the town outside the Cove. It's like there's so many here. It's like a town of ginnels and snippets and alleyways.
You can travel through it. I've done it before. I used to do it on my bike. You know.
So you can get around just by through the backwoods and the back routes and stuff. Yeah, but these woods. There's a lot more. It's a weird phrase to say, I think, but it's something a lot more honest about trees and forests out in the middle of nowhere. There's a bit more clean and wholesome.
Yeah.
The idea of something actually physically dwelling in them places is a weird thought, because it's so remote. You're not going to have a guy there, you know, bit pissed up on side riding in trees, are you? You're gonna, whatever's, you know what I mean. There's not that kind of predator there. The predators out there potentially are something a lot more sort of animalistic, you know. So, but then again, the feeling you got, was it something physical? Was it something metaphysical? Was it something from, you know, the other realm sort of thing? What do you think?
I think a little bit of both. I do think that Bigfoot. I'm not going to class it into dimensional beast, but I think that what we said before about that, you can go to the woods a lot. It can live in there, but it is living there, you know, in the twilight zone of it, you know.
Yeah, it is its own space sort of thing, you know. And the weird thing is, we do talk a lot on here about like the other realm and all this sort of stuff now, but now it's almost like a scientific fact just about now. It's nearly there. They're nearly saying, look, well, we know we're aware of other dimensions and things like this. All this had dark matter and energy. It's all somewhere. So this is what it could be, because that's what they're looking to travel through now. They're looking to travel. And by the way, I don't know if you saw the UFO report that came out from NASA.
I didn't know.
Yeah, I sat through it live.
Did you?
I listened to it live, and that basically was saying, yes, there's UAPs, as they're calling them now. There is UAPs out there. There's something out there. We're investigating. We're having full disclosure. We're telling everything that we find, because we're going to collate it as scientific data. We think it's something that is quantifiable. And if we had to, you know, it's like the gorilla, you know what I mean? It was a weird thing, a mythical beast. But once you caught one and looked at it and realised it had lungs, heart, liver, fur, you realise it's an animal. So I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to look into what these things are, work out how they're moving. And I think now that what they want to do is, whatever they're using, we want some of that. That's what they're after now. We're at that point where we're thinking, I know what we need. We need whatever's this thing's flying around. We need that, and that's what they're after.
Absolutely, and like you say, it's that race with the old Manhattan Project bit, isn't it? It's everybody's wanting a slice of the pie. You know what I mean? Whoever gets it first. We're like fully fucking. It's crazy times. Even down to the moon, like you said. Those episodes back, everybody's chasing to get to the moon. It's like everybody is, you know, China, India, England, America.
Everyone's going back. Everyone's going to space, and everyone's going to space for a reason. We're not going back just because it's fashionable again. We're going back because there's money in it and there's a necessity in it.
Absolutely, it's a chess move in it. You know what I mean?
So I think we've got a lot more discoveries. As you always say, the stuff that's released to us is at least 10 years old. Sort of thing. So it's like there's something else going on there that's a bit fishy. So we're going to have to watch that space a little bit.
Great time for just trippy news. You just look at news now, and they're just something
fucking
so
mental in it.
Weird.
It is absolutely wild times at the moment. But so I think, like you say, the old pan-dimensional thing, the idea that there's something through the mists and the veil, it isn't a romantic notion anymore. There is something out there, and I think this is what perhaps this mind has witnessed, something that's on the other side, perhaps, you know. And let's hope it doesn't ever, you know. Well, it never caught him, luckily, but as they quite rightly say, all these people go missing. Where do they go?
In his tummy.
In his tummy? That's right, Benny. That's it. Well, I came
Is it that time already?
It's that time already.
Oh, right enjoying it, Arkin. Right
enjoying
it.
We can't be a bit of classic casting, can we?
Sunny morning. Oh, love it.
I know, it's fun stuff. I'm enjoying myself as well, you know what I mean? But in a weird way, it's like, that's the thing about the Cove, you see. It's like a little utopia, isn't it? It's like an ideal place to live, you know? And I think that's what we need to investigate. Is not like a utopia for now, but let's see what was the utopia for the medieval times.
Wow, yeah, that's an idea. What they like imagined it.
Yeah, how they imagine utopia, imagine like heaven. So it's like, what I'm interested to think is, what is Benny's idea of heaven?
Benny's idea of heaven, lighthouse.
Yeah,
which we've got. Full fridge, loads of beer, loads of ice, loads of scotch,
right?
Loads of smoke. It's basically my life, really. Little boat, you know what I mean? I don't want a car, you know what I mean? I have to have one now, but just peace.
I've always wanted to shoot that plane down. just even for funny to watch it. Some kind of fallout and all. Anyway. But yeah, just all like being peaceful.
It's been left alone to watch the telly.
Right.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, you've got an awful lot in common with medieval man. Because their medieval sort of utopia of the time was a place called Cockaigne.
Yeah, so we can read some of that as well. Nah.
Yeah.
Mug's game.
So it was what it was. They had their they had like an idea, like a utopia, an idea of utopia, which was invented. This mystical place. It was almost like the Big Rock Candy Mountain, which was like a great song from the 1910s, 1920s, I believe. Have you never heard the song?
No.
Oh, it's this amazing song, the Big Rock Candy Mountain.
Yeah, scratch me out. Oh, me cheek. Oh.
And it's the buzzing of the bees and the cigarette trees and the soda water fountains.
Yeah, I know it.
It's a very old song, and it is just this almost like the American hobo's utopia.
Oh wow!
So where they'd have just like meat and drink or food and sort of sweets and cigarettes and stuff, just to sort of, and they don't have to do anything. You know what
just
I mean?
all that hand.
That is exactly what cocaine was for the medieval peasants.
Wow.
But I also think as well it shows such a complete lack of imagination sometimes, you know what I mean? So their fantasy world of the time, right, because there were these ancient illustrations of cocaine, right?
Yeah.
And it was a scholar called Herman Piels explains, like, all you need to do is just not have to work for anything you get.
Yeah.
That is utopia for your medieval peasant. So one of the things they actually believed in was that, or fantasized, was that there would be the fantasy with these pigs walking around. But the pigs are already cooked and they've got knives in their bags.
They just walk up to you, you just like have a little slice.
Have a slice off the pig.
This sounds it.
So that's one of their things. It was so easy that you just had to just lay there, and a porky suckling pig would walk up to you and just slice off a haunch, right? But again, one of the things that was amazing is that their idea of paradise still had all the farm animals and all the monsters, not animal monsters, but all the animals that they're used to seeing. But they all wore baskets and stuff, but the baskets and they're just shit in the baskets.
Wow.
And their idea of paradise was just not having to shovel shit.
Yeah, not shit everywhere.
Yeah, that's it. So the animals would just tidy up after themselves. So and that was their idea of heaven.
Wow.
Heaven to them was a place, not where the animals aren't shitting. It's just the animals, they don't have to clean up the shit of animals. Basically that, right? And then they thought to themselves, right, what is it you want to live in?
Yeah.
So you thought, living in a lovely house, right? A lovely big house in Cockaigne, right? What are the houses made of in Cockaigne?
Cocaine?
No. Fish pies.
Whoa! That's mental.
That is
Fish
mental.
pies!
Fish fucking pies.
What when it rains?
What happens after about 3 days in sun?
Oh, it might get crusty and a bit harder. Fish pies?
Fish pies!
That's the most absurd thing I've ever heard.
Made of fish pies. The sketches of their idea of heaven, of where they wanted to live, was in fish pies.
That hurts my brain. Is that mental? Where do you get that from? So you just scoop a bit out of the wall and munch it?
You just munch it off the wall. Oh, I'm a bit hungry. I'll just eat my fish pie wall.
I don't mind a dead fucking moving talking pig or whatever, but not fish pie houses.
Yeah. But to be fair, it's not all just fish. It says the beams are made of sturgeons, the roofs are made of bacon, and the fences of sausages.
Like a sausage fence. I'll go down that one.
Sausage fence would be pretty good, wouldn't it?
That's
you know what
right.
I mean? I think that'd be pretty good, right? But then, even better, right? Eggs have got legs.
Eggs with legs?
Eggs with legs, and they walk around, they walk up to you, and even the eggs have got a little knife in them.
No way, little dippy.
Scoop out, you got your little dippy eggs you got there, you know? But then they thought, what we're going to have to drink? Because the issue they had is they had what had been taught to them in sort of in churches and things about what heaven was like.
Yeah.
And they realised, even back then, heaven didn't sound that good.
Yeah.
They said, oh, well, there's fields and trees and stuff, and there's loads of people because people have gone to heaven. There's no booze. And that's the thing they wanted.
Yeah.
They wanted
rivers of wine.
Rivers of wine is what
yeah.
they wanted. So paradise to them is literally rivers of wine.
Oh, God.
And the French version of it, their version of it for wine, it had two streams, red and white.
That makes sense.
But the British ideal, or the peasants in England, what they wanted a sweet wine.
Oh.
That's what they thought was the best wine, was a sweet
God,
wine.
It's fucking horrible.
Can you imagine headache?
Oh.
Old fish pies and sweet pies. Can you imagine the shit? You need baskets to shit in.
Yeah, you constantly.
You'd be shitting all the time, right? Now then, what do you think the medieval version of cocaine is about for shagging?
Clean. I'm going to say just it being clean, rather than filthy, stinky bodies.
Well, do you know this is something I've heard about recently? Is this saying like apparently we do have some sort of like when we're all fired up for shagging, we have something which is cuts off that sort of feeling a bit sick and a bit sort of like, well, that's that smell makes me feel.
Right.
So, for example, the smell, if you were walking past somebody at work or something like that, and all you could smell is arseholes.
Yeah.
Right, but then if you were in the throes of passion and a big orgy and all you can smell is like fannies and arses and all sorts, apparently that doesn't make you feel sick, it all just fires you up.
Oh.
Which I think's a bit of a weird one.
Well, we've only been clean for a few 100 years, or 100 years or something. Not even that, you know what I mean?
Not even that, really, no.
We
people still talk about bath time on a Sunday in front of
yeah. We're filthy fucking beasts, most of fucking every country, just fucking minging.
Yeah, and basically what they're saying there is like, that for them, no shagging.
Oh.
They couldn't even be asked fucking.
Whoa!
They weren't bothered for it, right?
Wow.
It was what they're realising is, right, that the utopia of like around 1250 onwards, the medieval times, it was focused almost completely on food and laziness.
Because they're so hungry and they're working so hard.
Yeah. And basically their idea of heaven is just not dying of plague.
Yeah.
Just having enough to eat. Not having to work your bollocks to death.
Yeah.
And just sort of like not dying of or something awful of cankerous sores and black death.
Oh man.
So their imagination at the time was absolutely limited to what it was that they didn't have. Now they were all probably just rutting like beasts in the field anyway.
Yeah,
they're probably going home. That's
yeah.
free fun is that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I always thought we were like Charles Bukowski books.
Yeah.
Basically, he was shagging all the time with Charles, and he was saying like whenever we were living with Pat, they had no better to do than booze and shag.
Yeah,
and it was because it was free and they had no better to do it. And that's the entertainment of the time will have been just kind of climbing into bed with your teenage wife and just sort of like humping away with staring into her crossed eyes and scabby mouth. And they didn't want to do it. They're just sort of thinking, oh no, do you know
this
what?
is something I do because I've got fuck all else.
Yeah.
What I want to do is just...
But the ideal situation for them, was literally just laying around, having a pig come up that you could slice pieces off, and an egg with a knife in it that you could dip the eggs and stuff.
Somehow, was it Uncanny Valley cheese? And
Well, funny enough, the cheese is a thing. The Italian utopia had a mountain of cheese.
A cheese mountain?
A cheese mountain.
Oh, to live on. Cheesy mountain.
So the word cocaine in the Encyclopedia Britannica for 1910 comes from an Italian word that means the land of cakes. But the Italians' Fantasyland really focused on food as well. It had sausages and geese. And there was also a mountain all of grated Parmesan cheese.
Wow.
Whereupon folk who had nothing to do but make macaroni and ravioli. And in addition to the delectable cheese and pasta, the rivers flowed again with sweet Italian wine. The best was ever drunk without a drop of water therein, unwatered wine. Which sounds an awful lot better than the English's obsession with fish pies.
That is filthy.
That's it.
Wow.
So basically their idea of heaven was more about having things and not having to work.
Yeah.
It was about just not having a back-breaking labour in the fields.
And to survive, like you said.
Yeah.
All those fucking...
But think about this. This is 1400 sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
This is only about 600 years ago.
Yeah.
700 years ago. Not that long at all.
Is that medieval? 600 years ago?
Yeah, that sort of thing, you know what I mean? It's that
No, is it really? A few generations?
It's a few generations. It was, but in that time we were still scratting around.
Yeah.
We were fucking scratting around. You know, alright, we had a bit of gunpowder, we'd invented that kind of thing.
Well, we're scratting round now at Greg's and fucking B&M, aren't we? You know,
meat van.
Yeah, meat van with its tube.
But we're going into space and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and think how well we are.
Yeah, true.
We've got loads. We could right. You could go in a pantry now, right?
Yeah.
We could eat. Technically, we could probably eat and drink ourselves to death this afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah, with what we've got in his fridges.
We've got basically what we've got in the fridge and in the cupboard. We've got what is heaven to them.
Yeah, meat
We've got
fish pie houses in his fridge.
We have that utopia already on tap. To them, because one of the major foods that they had at the time was I think it was called pottage.
Yeah.
And pottage to me is, it makes me want to cry. It's so bleak. It was a pot that they had on the stove, right? That they just chopped everything into it. Everything. So, for example, what you do is you chop your carrots and parsnips and sort of root vegetables in it and stuff like that. And every now and again you might sort of have some extra scraps of meat, something. You chuck them into the pottage, or you might have some crumbs of bread or bits of it. It all goes into the pottage.
Nothing wasted.
Gets a bit thick. Does the pottage add a bit of water or something? Boil it all up. That you just keep boiling it. It's constant. This grey gruel is on the go all the time. 3 meals a day is pottage. You get a big label of this grey gruel slopped on your plate.
Oh my God.
There's you can't eat. There's any bits of gristly bits. All goes back in the pottage. And it just keeps cooking.
Oh no,
and
that
cooking.
is so bad.
It could be fucking years old, and it just keeps cooking away.
Oh God, man, that's gross.
Isn't it vile? And it does look like a grey-brown porridge on the stove top.
Like fucking chucking,
And that's what they lived on. That was 3 meals if they were
That's
lucky.
so bleak, and you're working your ass off, and that's all you're getting.
That's all you're getting. You're getting that, right? Apparently, though, they did say that a lot of manual labourers of the time, there was beer on the go.
Yeah.
They were brewing beer, but it was a pretty rough beer, if they're honest, right? But they were also eating a lot of bread, so fresh-made bread was done, right? But even then, that were a bit, I'd imagine probably quite nice, actually.
Compared.
But they'd be eating fucking tons of it.
Yeah.
So they're drinking sort of like about 8 or 9 pints of beer a day of this beer that they brewed. They'd be eating tons of this bread, followed by loads of this pottage. That were it. That were your diet of the era.
Oh, God,
so it wasn't like the idea of like say of birds or pheasants or anything like that. Because one of the things they said as well is that the starlings and things, little birds or little swan, but they would fly fully cooked into your mouth or ready to eat. That's another thing. Yes, you see little birds flying in your mouth and eat those. That'd be quite good fun. Yeah. But the idea of actually having meat was a rarity. You know, it wasn't something. Yeah, there would be cows and things about, but you would be using it for like making cheese and things. But a lot of those things you'd be selling on to make money, to sort of like
you're just not going to fucking own one, are you? With some,
no.
And if you try and go poaching on fucking Lord's Manor or something, you get your balls chopped off.
I think as well, this is why of that era, imagination was a curse. It was a curse because if you could imagine something nicer, a better life, you'd think, I want this, I want that. No, you got to be as thick as the mud you're turning over and digging. You got to be as thick as those basketfuls of shit. Because if you try to, you just kill yourself. You just have it.
Oh, it's grim as fuck, man. That's it. I'm off to make a fucking fish finger fence.
I could do that now. I know. Why don't we make our own cocaine now today?
Yeah, man.
Well, let's build like a little fish finger lighthouse. That's it. We're like instead of water all the way, we've got tartar sauce all the way around. Yeah, that kind of thing. Right. What we're going to be drinking?
Gravy.
Gravy is that, kid. Well, we better fuck off and get some stuff done now anyway. Right, so I hope you enjoy the show, everyone. Like you say, you can get in touch with us at KrakenCovePodcast@gmail.com. You find us all at Kraken Cove Pod on Instagram. And we're also at Kraken Cove on Twitter.
We're everywhere.
Yeah, we're everywhere. We're watching you guys. And thanks, and again, welcome to all the new listeners as well.
Yeah, nice to see you.
So, keep tuned in, spread the word, spread the love, and we'll all see you later then. Bye-bye!
See ya, I'm a Benny. Bye!
There we go.
There are 3 ways you may contact Kraken Cove. Either by email at KrakenCovePodcast@gmail.com, on Twitter at Kraken Cove, or Instagram at Kraken Cove Pod. Ha ha!